What if I told you that the next 24 hours of your life are already being shaped, and you haven't even opened your eyes yet? Every morning, you're given a silent choice. Most ignore it. But the ones who win at life, they know exactly what to do with it. Before the world floods in with noise and notifications, there's a sacred window, a few quiet moments, that can determine your mindset for the entire day. Are you using it or losing it? Hey, warrior, every single morning, you stand at a crossroads, one decision that silently crafts the tone of your entire day. The strange part? Most people don't even know they're making it. They roll over, grab their phones, and instantly surrender their mindset to the chaos of the outside world. But there's a hidden truth, one that sets apart those who thrive from those who merely survive, and it's all found in the first few moments after you wake. Thousands of years ago, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius wrote in his personal journal, "When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly." Now you might think such a harsh expectation would drain his spirit. But no, it fueled him. He didn't wake up defeated. He woke up prepared, mentally armored for the battles of the day. Right now, in the first few minutes after you rise, your brain is like wet cement, soft, shapeable, ready to be imprinted. Neuroscientific studies have confirmed that your initial thoughts don't just influence your mood. They rewire your brain, creating default reactions that echo throughout the rest of the day. But what do most people do with this golden hour? They waste it, scrolling mindlessly, comparing lives, absorbing anxiety that doesn't even belong to them. The ancient Stoics? They discovered a radical idea, something modern science now backs up. You can program your mind for clarity, strength, peace, and unshakable confidence. And you can do it with just 10 powerful truths you speak into existence each morning. These aren't fluffy affirmations or fairy tale mantras. They are grounded, battle-tested declarations aligned with the hardwired principles of how the world truly works. Imagine waking up tomorrow, not anxious, not exhausted, but excited. Genuinely excited. Imagine walking into your day, knowing storms may come, but they won't shake you. What if criticism bounced off you like rain on armor? What if uncertainty only sharpened your focus? The ancient Greeks had a word for that. State, ataraxia, a deep, unshakable tranquility. Not numbness, not ignorance, peace in the middle of chaos. And here's the best part. You weren't born with or without it. You build it, one morning at a time. In the next few minutes, you'll learn the exact words that helped Roman generals win wars, visionaries build legacies, and everyday people like you transform into extraordinary versions of themselves. Each truth is designed to target and dissolve the inner enemies that keep us stuck. Fear, comparison, distraction, emotional overreaction, procrastination. But here's what makes this different from any morning routine you've ever heard of. These truths have survived the rise and fall of empires. They carried warriors through ancient battlefields. They steadied leaders in the darkest moments of world wars. And now, they're here for you. So the real question is, will you choose to use them? Will you rise with discipline or drift with the tide? Before we begin this mental shift, I need a small favor. Hit that like button to show you're ready to own your morning. Drop a comment and tell me, what's your biggest morning struggle? Who in your life needs this message? Share this with them. And subscribe. Because we're building more than a channel here. We're building a movement, a family of focused minds who refuse to live life on autopilot. And whatever you do, don't skip this video. Every second matters. Every phrase builds on the next. If this message hits home, say it out loud with me and claim it. I control my morning. I control my day. Number 1, I am responsible for how today feels. The moment you truly accept full responsibility for your emotional state, something profound begins to shift. And no, this isn't about blaming yourself when things go wrong. It's about owning your power, the ability to choose your response to anything life throws at you. Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor and renowned psychiatrist, discovered this truth in one of the darkest places on Earth, a Nazi concentration camp. He wrote, "Everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances." Think about that. If someone could hold on to their emotional sovereignty in a death camp, then surely you can hold yours through the ordinary chaos of daily life. The truth is, most people live as emotional victims. Their moods rise and fall with traffic jams, the weather, someone's bad mood, or a dip in their bank account. They wake up, grab their phones, and allow push notifications to push them into emotional slavery, surrendering their mental state to headlines, gossip, and noise they never asked for. But when you look in the mirror and say, "I am responsible for how today feels," you are declaring your emotional independence. You are standing tall and saying, "My happiness, my peace, my confidence, none of them are for sale to the highest bidder." You are claiming ownership of the one thing no one can ever take away from you, your response. This doesn't mean you'll never feel angry, disappointed, or sad again. No. It means you'll see those emotions for what they are. Temporary visitors, not permanent residents. You'll recognize that while you can't control everything that happens around you, you can always control what happens within you. Stoic philosopher Epictetus once taught, "We suffer not from events themselves, but from our judgment of those events." Shift the judgment, and the suffering begins to fade. This morning affirmation is designed to rewire your brain, to move you away from looking outward for emotional safety, and instead train you to build strength from within. So tomorrow morning, place your hand on your heart. Say these words out loud. Say them like you mean them. I am responsible for how today feels. My emotions are my choice. My peace is my decision. Today, I choose strength over weakness, clarity over confusion, hope over fear. Then watch what begins to change when you stop being a victim of your circumstances and start becoming the author of your emotional experience. You'll uncover a kind of emotional freedom that most people never even know is possible. Affirmation 2. Nothing can disturb my peace without my permission. Your peace of mind is like a fortress, and you are the gatekeeper. Each morning you decide who and what is allowed to enter your mental space. But most people? They leave the gates wide open. They allow criticism, fear, negativity, and every stray opinion to march right in and set up camp. No filters, no boundaries. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor of Rome, wrote in his personal meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." He understood something we so often forget. True power isn't about controlling what happens around you. It's about mastering what happens inside you. And when you say out loud, "Nothing can disturb my peace without my permission," you are building protective walls around your inner sanctuary. You're making it clear, my peace is not a public park where anyone can walk in and start a riot. You become the security guard of your own mind. Now let's be clear. This doesn't mean you'll become emotionless, detached, or cold. It simply means you decide what deserves your attention. You decide what enters your mental space. The secret lies in the tiny space between what happens to you and how you respond to it. There is a sacred gap, a moment of stillness, where you get to choose your reaction. But here's the thing. Most people react so quickly, they never even notice that space exists. When you train yourself to slow down and find that pause, you unlock something extraordinary. You discover your superpower. Every morning, stand tall in front of the mirror, look yourself in the eye, and speak this out loud. "Nothing can disturb my peace without my permission." Let that statement sink in, because when you say those words, you're not just reciting a line, you're stepping into a new identity. You're declaring that you are the guardian of your inner world, that today, you decide who and what gets access to your mind. Your peace isn't for sale, it's not for rent, and it's not up for negotiation. Watch how differently you move through the world when you fully realize that your peace belongs to you. You become unshakable. Not because life stops throwing curveballs, but because you've learned to protect what matters most. Drop this affirmation in the comments right now, like a contract with yourself. I am the guardian of my own peace. Affirmation number 3. Today, I focus only on what I can control. Want a fast track to burnout and frustration? Try to control things that are completely outside your power. Every single day, millions of people drain their mental energy obsessing over the uncontrollable, what others think, what the weather will be like, the news, the markets, politics, and an endless stream of external noise. Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher, taught a core principle. Some things are within our power, others are not. He divided all of life into 2 categories: what you can control and what you can't. If you want to master your life, you have to master that distinction. So what can you control? Your effort, your attitude, your words, your actions, your reactions, your decisions. That's it. Everything else, how people behave, the past, the future, natural disasters, economic crashes, or your boss's mood, those are out of your hands. But here's the problem. Most people have it completely backwards. They spend 80% of their energy trying to change things they can't control, and almost no energy focusing on what they actually can. They stress about what might happen next month, while ignoring what they could do today. They worry about what someone might think, instead of asking who they truly want to become. But when you wake up and say, "Today I focus only on what I can control," you are making a strategic decision to invest your limited mental energy where it can actually create results. You're choosing action over anxiety, focus over fear, influence over helplessness. The ancient Greeks had a powerful visualization tool called the circle of control. Imagine everything in your life falling into 3 circles: the things you completely control, the things you can influence, the things you can't control at all. Now here's the formula. Put 90% of your attention on the first circle, 10% on the second, and 0% on the third. This simple mental shift will transform your mornings. Instead of waking up overwhelmed by what's wrong in the world, you'll wake up energized by what you can improve in your own life. Instead of feeling powerless, you'll feel focused. Instead of anxiety spreading in all directions, you'll have laser-like clarity. So right now, stand tall. Look yourself in the eye. Say it like you mean it. Today I focus only on what I can control. I will not waste energy on things outside my power. My attention goes to my actions, my effort, and my responses. This is where my power lives. The truth is, most people tie their self-worth to their daily performance like it's strapped to an emotional roller coaster that never stops moving. They soar when things go right. They crash when things fall apart. Their self-esteem rises and falls with the day's wins and losses. The Stoic philosopher Seneca, advisor to emperors and one of the wealthiest men in ancient Rome, learned this lesson the hard way. After being exiled by Emperor Caligula and later ordered to take his own life by Nero, Seneca realized something powerful. External success is temporary, but inner worth is eternal. He once wrote, "Every new beginning comes from some other beginnings." And more importantly, he understood, your worth transcends any single outcome. But society? Society trains us to measure ourselves by output, by our productivity, our bank account, our relationship status, our resume, or the number of likes we get online. We wake up each day feeling like we have to earn our worth, prove it through achievements before our head hits the pillow. But that way of living, it's exhausting. And more than that, it's destructive, because it places your sense of value on things you only partially control, or don't control at all. So when you look in the mirror and declare, "My worth is not measured by today's outcomes," you're doing more than saying words. You're breaking free from the performance trap. You're stating clearly, "My value is not something I need to earn. It's something I already have." You existed before today's challenges, and you'll exist after today's wins or losses. Who you are is not up for negotiation, no matter what happens in the next 24 hours. Now, this doesn't mean you stop striving or stop caring. It simply means you separate your effort from your identity. You can still pursue excellence, but you're not tying your entire sense of worth to whether you achieve it. You can feel disappointed without feeling destroyed. You can celebrate success without becoming dependent on it for your self-esteem. The ancient Stoics understood that real confidence comes from knowing who you are at your core, regardless of external results. They had a concept called preferred indifference, outcomes that you may want but which do not determine your value. Yes, getting the job is great, but not getting it? It doesn't make you any less worthy. So tomorrow morning, speak this truth to yourself out loud. My worth is not measured by today's outcomes. I am valuable because I exist, not because of what I achieve. Today, I will give my best effort, knowing that my value is not on trial. Whether I succeed or fail, I remain worthy of love, respect, and dignity. Affirmation number 5. I will act, not just intend. The space between good intentions and real action, that's where most dreams quietly go to die. Every morning, millions of people wake up with beautiful plans. They're going to launch the business. They're going to call that friend. They're going to start the workout. They're going to write the first chapter of the book. But by the end of the day, they've done nothing except think about doing something. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself every day. In the morning, when thou risest unwillingly, let this thought be present. I am rising to the work of a human being. He knew the hard truth. Intentions without action are just elegant forms of procrastination. The difference between successful people and everyone else isn't luck, talent, or timing. It's the ability to close the gap between thinking and doing. While most people are busy perfecting their plans, successful people are perfecting their execution. While others are waiting for the right moment, they're creating the right moment through decisive action. So when you say, "I will act," not just intend, you're making a bold commitment to become a doer, not just a dreamer, a starter, not just a planner. You've just made the powerful decision to act, not just intend, to become the kind of person who moves forward even when the path isn't perfect. Now let's go one step further. Let's talk about what happens when the path gets hard, because it will. Choosing action over analysis means choosing growth over comfort. But here's the thing. Growth rarely happens when everything is easy. It happens in pressure, in friction, in heat. And that's why the next truth matters so much. Every challenge is a chance to grow stronger. Imagine two objects placed in fire, a stick of butter and a piece of steel. The same fire that melts one hardens the other. Every morning you get to decide, which one will you be when life turns up the heat? Most people see challenges as punishments, setbacks, bad luck. But the wise, the strong, the Stoics, they saw obstacles as opportunities, like a gym for the soul where strength is forged and character is built. James Stockdale, a U.S. Navy admiral who endured 7 years of torture as a prisoner of war in Vietnam, credited his survival not to luck, but to Stoic philosophy. He once said, "You must never confuse faith that you will prevail in the end with the discipline to confront the most brutal facts of your current reality." He didn't deny hardship. He didn't sugarcoat it. He faced it head-on, with unbreakable clarity, because real challenges don't break you. They reveal you. They strip away the surface and expose what's real, what you're truly made of. And in doing so, they offer a chance, not just to survive, but to evolve. Maybe right now you're going through something heavy. It could be financial pressure, a struggling relationship, health concerns, career uncertainty. Maybe it feels overwhelming. Your instinct might be to run, to complain, to ask, "Why me?" But what if these challenges weren't happening to you? What if they were happening for you? The ancient Stoics had a revolutionary way of looking at adversity. They believed hardship wasn't random, it was training. They saw it as fate's way of shaping you into who you're meant to become. Marcus Aurelius put it perfectly. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Every obstacle, no matter how painful, contains a hidden seed, an opportunity, a lesson, a gift, if you have the eyes to see it. So when you say to yourself, "Every challenge is a chance to grow stronger," you're not just changing your mindset, you're rewriting your relationship with difficulty. You stop being a victim of your circumstances and become a student of life. You stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What is this trying to teach me?" Now let's be clear. This doesn't mean you should enjoy suffering or go out looking for problems. It means you finally understand the truth. Struggle is the price of growth, and growth is the price of a meaningful life. A muscle only grows when it's pushed beyond comfort. A story only becomes powerful when the hero faces trials. And character? It only deepens when tested by real pain. So each morning, prepare yourself not for ease, but for evolution. Look at the day with readiness, not fear, and declare, "Every challenge is a chance to grow stronger. I welcome difficulties as opportunities to develop my character. Today's obstacles are tomorrow's strengths. I do not pray for an easier life. I pray to become a stronger person. Affirmation number 7. I will not compare my journey to anyone else's. Comparison isn't just the thief of joy. It's the destroyer of growth, confidence, and true fulfillment. Every morning, millions of people wake up and instantly start measuring their lives against someone else's curated highlight reel on social media. They forget that they're comparing their raw, unfiltered behind the scenes with someone else's edited, polished performance. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "How much trouble he avoids who does not look to see what his neighbor says or does, but only to what he does himself." He understood one powerful truth. Your only real competition is the person you were yesterday. But today, social media has turned comparison into a 24/7 addiction. You see someone's vacation photos, and suddenly your life feels dull. You see someone's promotion, and your career feels stuck. You see someone's happy relationship, and yours suddenly feels broken. But here's what you don't see. You don't see their fears. You don't see their failures. You don't see their sleepless nights, doubts, and emotional scars. So when you declare, "I will not compare my journey to anyone else's," you're making a conscious choice to run your own race, at your own pace, toward your own finish line. You're refusing to let other people's timelines determine your self-worth. You're recognizing that every person has a different starting point, different resources, different struggles, and a different definition of success. Your journey is unique because you are unique. Your past, your gifts, your pain, your dreams, your circumstances belong to you alone. Trying to live someone else's life is like trying to wear their shoes. It may look good on the outside, but it will never fit. Eventually, it will hurt. The most successful and fulfilled people have one thing in common. They've stopped trying to impress people they don't even like, with achievements that don't even matter to them. They've learned how to celebrate others without diminishing themselves. They know how to value their own progress, no matter how small, without needing outside validation. So this morning, make a new commitment to authentic living. I will not compare my journey to anyone else's. My path is unique. My timing is perfect. My progress is meaningful. Today, I celebrate others' success without questioning my own worth. I am exactly where I need to be on my one-of-a-kind journey. Affirmation number 8. I choose discipline over motivation. Motivation is like the weather, unpredictable, fleeting, and totally out of your control. Some days you wake up ready to take on the world. Other days, you can barely take on the act of getting out of bed. But discipline? Discipline is like breathing. It works whether you feel like it or not. Roman general and Stoic philosopher Marcus Cato the Younger was legendary for his unwavering discipline. Even during Rome's brutal winters, he would walk barefoot through the streets, not for attention, but to strengthen his resolve. He understood one essential truth. Comfort is the enemy of greatness, and discipline is the bridge between goals and achievement. Cato proved that you don't need to feel motivated to act, you just need to be disciplined. Most people wait for motivation to strike like lightning, random, sudden, and rare. They believe they need to feel inspired or energized before they can take action. But the truth, if you wait to feel ready, you'll be waiting forever. Affirmation number 9. Gratitude will shape how I see the day. Your perspective is your reality. And gratitude, It's the lens that transforms ordinary moments into extraordinary blessings. Every morning, you have a choice. You can focus on what's missing from your life, or you can focus on what's already present. One of those choices leads to frustration, envy, and dissatisfaction. The other leads to joy, abundance, and clarity. Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, once said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." He knew that gratitude isn't about pretending life is perfect. It's about recognizing the quiet miracles that exist right alongside your problems. Right now, as you listen to this, your heart is beating without you even thinking about it. Your lungs are drawing breath with zero effort from you. You have clean water to drink, a roof over your head, access to technology that allows you to hear this message, something that would have been considered magic just 100 years ago. And yet, most people wake up thinking about what they don't have, what they lack, what's missing. But when you declare, "Gratitude will shape how I see the day," you're making a conscious decision to train your mind to see what's already good, to build the habit of noticing blessings instead of problems, to rewire your brain, literally. Neuroscience shows that consistent gratitude reshapes your brain. It strengthens neural pathways associated with optimism, resilience, and inner peace. You become more capable of handling stress, more emotionally stable, and more present. Now, let's be clear. Gratitude isn't about ignoring your pain or pretending everything is fine when it's not. It's not a lie you tell yourself. It's a perspective you choose to practice. It means even on your worst days, you remember that there's always something to be thankful for. It means realizing that happiness doesn't come from having everything you want. It comes from learning to appreciate everything you already have. The Stoics practiced something called negative visualization. They would mentally picture losing the things they loved, their health, their relationships, their possessions. Not to become sad, but to increase appreciation. To remind themselves, what I have right now is not guaranteed. And that made them more present, more thankful, more alive. Try that this morning. Look around and take note of 3 things you normally overlook. Maybe it's the softness of your bed, the light coming through your window, or simply the ability to hear, move, breathe. Gratitude doesn't need to be dramatic. It just needs to be intentional. So today, make this promise to yourself. Gratitude will shape how I see the day. I choose to focus on presence over lack, appreciation over envy, and wonder over worry. I don't need everything to be perfect to be grateful. I just need to pay attention. Instead of waking up consumed by what you lack, you now begin each morning grateful for what you already have. Instead of focusing on what's wrong, you're aware of what's right. Instead of seeing only obstacles, you now see opportunities for growth. Gratitude will shape how I see the day. I will notice the good that surrounds me. Today, I choose abundance over scarcity, appreciation over complaint, and wonder over worry. My grateful heart creates my happy life. Affirmation. Pure 10. I will end the day better than I started. Every sunrise is an unspoken contract life offers you. And if you invest the day wisely, you'll go to bed not just older, but wiser, stronger, and closer to the person you're meant to become. This isn't about giant leaps or massive breakthroughs. It's about the compound power of small, intentional improvements, the kind that turn ordinary days into an extraordinary life. Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, had a powerful evening ritual. At the end of each day, he would reflect and ask himself, what wound did I heal today? What weakness did I resist? What area could I improve tomorrow? He wasn't chasing perfection. He was committed to progress, and if you improve by just 1% a day, you don't just improve, you transform. Mathematically, 1% daily improvement for a year makes you 37 times better by the end of the year. It's easy to overlook. It seems so small, but that mindset, to end each day better than it began, will change how you see everything. That awkward conversation becomes a chance to practice courage. That mistake? A valuable data point for future decisions. That delay? A test of your patience. When you live this way, nothing is wasted. Every experience becomes raw material for growth. And failure? It's no longer failure, because you learn from it. Even if your day falls apart, you can still end it better than it started, simply by reflecting, learning, and adjusting for tomorrow. Even if you fall short, you still win by showing up and choosing to grow. Even when things don't go your way, you still move forward by refusing to give up. This mindset isn't about being harsh with your C. It's about being intentional. It's about treating each day as a gift and refusing to waste it. Because when you commit to ending each day better than you started, you build unstoppable momentum. And that momentum, that's what carries you toward the life you actually want to live. Your future self is depending on you. Make today's choices count. These 10 morning affirmations aren't just words. They are your blueprint for building an unshakable life. When you start your day by taking full responsibility for your emotions, protecting your peace, focusing only on what you can control, recognizing your inherent worth, choosing action over intention, embracing challenges, refusing comparison, prioritizing discipline, practicing gratitude, and committing to daily growth. You shift from being someone who reacts to life into someone who creates it. The ancient Stoics understood something modern self-help often forgets. True strength isn't about just thinking positively or pretending everything is okay. It's about developing the inner power to face life as it is, with wisdom, courage, and grace. These declarations are your daily mental workout. And remember, you don't have to be perfect, you just have to be consistent. Start with one affirmation that speaks to you. Then gradually add the rest as you build the habit. You're not trying to become a Stoic philosopher overnight. You're just aiming to be a little stronger, a little more intentional, and a little more in control each day. Your mornings shape your days. Your days shape your life. And your life shapes your legacy. Make it count. If this message resonated with you, hit that like button. Share it with someone who needs to hear this. Drop a comment with your favorite morning affirmation. And don't forget to subscribe for more powerful, life-shaping content. Your future self will thank you for the investment you're making in your morning starting today.